Christine from HollisHandsCreate. How are you today? It's August 9th. This is Friday, and this is my episode number 59 of HollisHandsCreate. This is my channel about cross-stitch and sometimes some other crafty endeavors, but primarily cross-stitch. I hope that everyone is well. And this will be my update for the last 4 or 5 weeks. The last time I filmed was July 4th. So if you are returning, thank you so much. If you're a subscriber, I super appreciate that. And if you are not someone who has been here before, I want you to know that you are welcome. I hope that you'll stay and maybe see a few things that are inspirational to you, and that you'll love it so much that you'll want to subscribe and join me as I go forward on my stitching journey. Let's see. Today is August 9th, like I said. August to me is a countdown month. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of like countdown to school, countdown to football, countdown to the holiday season. It's kind of a tweener month between, you know, the end of kind of you're finishing up all of the summer holidays and you're headed into the fall season. So for us stitchers, though, it's a countdown to what? September, sampler September. Words are hard early in the morning. Fall stitching, which is, you know, my favorite. And we had an added bonus this year of having the Summer Olympics in Paris. And so it's the, you know, kind of the countdown to the end. I believe the end is this weekend. And if you've been stitching along with those sals, or that sal put on by Katie of the Naptime Stitcher, then, you know, it's kind of the countdown to the end of that as well. And so, you know, with that in mind, today I'm just going to go through a few things. Won't be a super long video. You know, life is busy for everyone. I won't go through all of my busyness, but I have had a couple of trips this last few weeks, and continuing to work on my mom's estate, you know, things like that. So, but let's, you know, I want to get right to kind of the fun stuff. I'm going to go through a bit of haul, my whip progress. We're going to do a quick September sampler focus on some mini samplers, and we'll have a small shop update at the end. So buckle in and let's get go. And I'll try not to say so many times. I notice I do that. Okay, I'm going to start with haul. Okay, I have been, I don't know, the last 10 days, like all over, just looking for different charts. And part of that is because I'm trying to nail down my birthday start for this year, because as everyone tells me, it's my big birthday. I hope it's not my big birthday. I guess it's my big birthday. Anyway, I turned 60 October 9th, and it has been a bit of, I guess, a thing in the stitching world the last couple of years at least, to have the big birthday starts. You know, Laura had her big birthday start, and Brenda, and I think Annie B's. There's been quite a few who have had these big birthday starts. So I've had several people ask me, well, what are you going to start? That has kind of sent me down a bit of a, you know, wormhole, so to speak, looking for, you know, different things that I kind of have always wanted to stitch, not only digging through my stash, but, you know, checking every day for my unicorn, you know, charts that I've had searches set up for forever. One of those came in this past week through the unbelievable generosity and graciousness of a friend who shared a chart with me. So I'm wheedling it down. But in the meantime, you know, I found some charts that I absolutely loved and purchased, and I'm going to share just a couple with you, not all, but now one was actually a new a new chart. It wasn't a unicorn, anything like that. It was just something that I happened to see about the same time that I think it was Laura who posted on Instagram that everyone should race right over to Not Forgotten Farm on Etsy and purchase Merry Harvest. And I'll pull that up just a little bit close in case you haven't seen it. This is Merry Harvest from Not Forgotten Farm, Lori Brecklin. And you can just download, I downloaded the PDF, so hence the reason it's, you know, printed. And it actually is, it would satisfy both, right? It would be both a sampler and a fall stitch if you were interested in doing something like this for September samples. I don't know why I have a mental block about sampler September, and let me just tell you why. I'm like opposed to sampler September in some ways because it interrupts my favorite time of the year, fall stitching. And I don't want to work on just a sampler for September. I propose that we make it spring sampler time, sampler spring. Doesn't that make sense? Sampler spring. Everybody seems to love fall stitching. Then you go right into Christmas stitching, which is huge. And then you're kind of coming around the corner of the year into the new year. You know, I don't know, the winter stitching is such a big thing. You get a few winter things. Valentine's doesn't seem to be a huge thing. St. Patrick's. You get some rabbits, obviously, you know, bunny stitching and things like that. But I really think that it should be, you know, sampler spring. I'm proposing that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, so back to, sorry, I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry, again, this Merry Harvest, which I really think is really sweet. And so I purchased that. Another one when I was perusing on Etsy is Calico Confectionery. And she's got this Shine On Harvest Moon. And I saw that and just loved it. So I quickly tossed it into my cart as a PDF and downloaded it. And there it is. Shine On Harvest Moon by Calico Confectionery. And I just think that's adorable too. Look at the moon phases. You see the different faces in the moon? That's very clever. So I bought that. Then I had a prior purchase that actually showed up, and you know I like to show everybody linens and different colors and things like that. And I had purchased from Color and Cotton 2 full yards, I believe. Oh no, maybe they're half yards of 2 different colors. This grayish one is called Dove, and this second one is called Sampler Gold. Now, I had a small piece of Sampler Gold from a trip that I took to last year in the fall, and we went to a cross-stitch shop out in Colorado, and she had just a small, like, I don't think it was even an 1/8. I think it was less than an 1/8 cut. And so I bought it because I just love that particular color. It's a little lighter, but somewhat close to Vintage Autumn Gold. And you see how that changes as I go in. Now, mind you, I've got big lights up here, so it kind of is blown out a little bit. It's a little bit deeper in color. But it's something that would be potentially really, really close. So anyway, Color and Cotton, I don't even know if I saw a post, probably a Facebook post or Instagram post that they had some fabrics up. And so I zoomed, as Laura says, I shwoomed right over and bought those, and they arrived, and I love both colors. And then speaking of Color Cotton, let's see. This was the July Thread Club. Let me take it out of the plastic. I am in the Prim colors. And so these were our July colors, anticipating countdown to fall stitching. Aren't those pretty? So it's Broomstick, Yuletide, and Drummer's Drumming. So, and these arrived. So, love those. And then I'm in the A Little Help from Our Friend Stitching Circle, which is from the Silver Needle. I'm in that club, and I believe in that club you get like 5 or 6 designs throughout the year. I have shown this, I'm pretty sure, before, but this one was a really cute one that arrived this last week. It's called Odds and Ends. It's a stitching trio from Robin Sample of October House Fiber Arts. And you've got the little drum, you've got the little fob, and what is this one down here? I haven't even opened it yet. Let's see. Oh, it's a coordinating thread holder. So you got a little thread holder here. And, the kits come complete with everything that you're going to need to put it together and finish it. And I just thought that was really sweet. October Fiber House Robin is really nice, and she does some great skinny mini type pillow designs that are very popular. Really, really cute designs. So I expected that she would have something good, and she did. Okay, so that's all I'll show you for haul. I, don't usually show just a tremendous amount. So, but I did have some things I thought I would share. If you'll notice, I should have said this in the beginning. My craft room is coming along. I can actually walk across the middle of the room now without falling over anything and boxes and that kind of thing. So I am working away on getting the rest of my walls done, some vignettes and things kind of set up. In this room, you'll notice there's this shelving thing. This is kind of like a built-in and recessed shelving area. It has 3 different shelves. The bottom, and it's really deep. It goes back in probably a good 16, 17 inches. So what I did was I actually used the bottom shelf area, and you'll see it goes, if I'm pointing right, it goes all the way down to here. So this is actually very tall and very deep. And so I actually put my yarn in there. I think it looks kind of cool. You kind of see the color of it. So I put all my yarn in there, and then the top 2 shelves I just filled with, goodies that I've received or purchased, little different things that I love. I actually have one of my, this is a spool cabinet, but it's like for a countertop in like an old 5 and dime type store. So it actually has the glass top on it, and then that lifts up, and you've got a whole display area in the top, and then you've got the 4 drawers, and I have a lot of my silks and things in the drawers. And then below I have what we call Grandpa's cabinet. This was an old cabinet that was in my husband's grandfather's basement, and I think it was painted black or something. And so Chris actually, he just thought it would be a cool cabinet. And sure enough, it's all done in maple, I believe. I think it's done in maple, but so he stripped it all down. There for a while, he was totally into refurnishing some old furniture, and he stripped it all down and refinished it and put some new handles on it. And so it's a very big, deep cabinet, and it's perfect for housing all my whips. So I just can come in here, open those, and pull it out, and there's all my whips. So that's kind of got placed in the corner. So that's what had been sitting beside me when I was in front of this wall over here. And now I've been able to hang a lot of my favorites. I've mentioned to you that fall is my favorite. And so this actually goes, I don't know if I can show you. I can show you this without making you sick. But let's see. Kind of goes on over, and then there's a shelf up above there. Let's see if I can get to this positioned right. Okay. There's a shelf up above that then houses all of my little mini sewing machines. So that I picked up and kind of somewhat tiny little collection. And I was inspired by those from my friend Kathy Lounsbury, who has a ton of them. And so if I find one, I always send her a picture to say, you know, what do you think of this one? And then she'll tell me yes or no, that's in good shape or not in good shape. And so fellow collectors as well as fellow stitchers. Okay, so yeah, so that's why I'm sitting in a new area. Let's get right on to my whip progress. So I mentioned that this was a countdown time. This is also, for me, the countdown to the end of my annual summer stitch. And, you know, you've heard me talk about this on numerous occasions, so I won't go into it a tremendous amount. But for you who might not have heard about it, for the last 4 years, so this is my 5th summer, I have stitched one of the Plum Street Samplers Rhode Island style historical samplers that Paulette designs. And I caught up to her. I know she's working on another one, but it's not out yet. So this year I had to pick something else to stitch. And so my friend Tara said, okay, you have to name this. We've got to have something. So I named it. Actually, my son Adam, who works with me, named it. And it's the Hollis Summer Holiday Sal. And it starts on Memorial Day. And hopefully you finish by Labor Day. So that's been my goal. And that's what I have done for the last 4 summers. And now this one. But this year, I had to choose. I shouldn't have had to choose. I love this. I just had not stitched it. So I chose Liberty's Welcome from Plum Street Samplers. It's a beautiful, beautiful design. And at first I thought maybe I might have bit off a little bit more than I could chew. And that's with keeping up with my other things that I like to stitch throughout the month or my assignments. I've got a few assignments I still do. And, but I'll show you my progress. So this is my countdown, right? This is counting down to September 2nd, which is Labor Day. And this is my progress. This is where I am on this guy. Finally finished this ginormous house this week. Borders across on 3 sides. I've stitched the greenery in this one. Just started with the flower here. You know, got this urn. So there's like a square motif here and a star up here. What else? And then there's that damn grass. So I tried to do, you know, a thread or 2 on the grass pretty regularly. I'll put this up a little bit closer. But anyway, you look at it, it's going to come down to completing that grass at the end. Now, I do have to decide what I'm going to put here. It does say on here, excuse me, I had tossed this down. This work wrought by me, and then you put your name in. I'm not 100% convinced that that is what I want to do. Another stitcher who's stitching this along with me finished hers, and she put in like a really cool little bee scap and another little star and something in here. I don't know. I have to decide what I want to put in there and then wrap it up. I kind of actually thought about even just putting the year and my initials. I might do that. So stay tuned to see. So this is the countdown to September 2nd and the end of the Hollis's Summer Holiday Stitching Sal. Okay. Now, that particular piece fit extremely well with the Stitch the Summer Olympics hosted by Naptime Stitcher. I believe when I went through all the prompts, there were only 2 prompts that particular design did not fit. Obviously, you know, it's a patriotic piece. There's things round. You got the wagon wheels. I'm trying to think. There's no water, so I'll show you what I did with that one. And then the oldest whip. I don't know that this is my oldest whip. I'm going to show you, but it's definitely pretty old. I picked my supposed to be 1 stitch a day, which doesn't ever turn out to be 1 stitch a day, but Paradigm Found from Long Dog Samplers. So I pulled that one out to satisfy that particular prompt, and I have not shown this in just a little while anyway, so I thought, well, you know, it's a good time to show this one. I do have some progress, obviously, since I shown it to you last, which who knows when that was. So, but this is my progress on Paradigm Found. And I'm stitching this on Lakeside Vintage Pecan Butter. I'm using Gentle Art Threads Current, which I love. This is why it lends itself so well to being a 1 thread a day type project. See that? Can you see that? Because you're just, you know, it's monochromatic in that you're just using 1 color. And since I believe, I had to kind of go back, but I believe since I've shown this to you the last time, I've done across here, you know, to finish out this page. And then I jumped over here and I did this work, you know, extended up, and I'm headed up this way. But I've definitely been working on this for quite some time. And really, honestly, I shouldn't even say I've been working on it for quite some time. I've had it as a whip for quite some time. I started it during the pandemic, so 2020, I believe. And then, you know, I don't know, jumped into other things, and it sat for probably close to 2 years before I picked it back up and decided, you know what, this would be good to do 1 thread a day. And when I had started that, I had just the tiniest little corner. And so over the last, you know, 2 years, maybe not even quite 2 years, because I think it was like fall of 2022 when I decided to do that, I've been able to do quite a bit. Now, this month, when I counted up, I think I only had 17 days where I did 1 thread a day. But even 17 days does a decent amount of progress, so I'm happy with it. My goal has always been to have stitched at least, you know, through my lifetime has been to stitch at least 1 Long Dog, 1 Haid, Heaven and Earth Design, and 1 Mirabilia. Mirabilia and the Long Dog Samplers and the Haid, all 3 are whips. So we'll see how I do. Okay, for my other prompt, which also works with an assignment, which was to stitch water, I pulled out my Live on Little by Plum Street Samplers. And let me put this on the board so you can see. So for that evening, I worked on Live on Little. Now, Live on Little, while I absolutely love it, is about to get packed away until next year. And here's where my progress is. And so for my work on water, what I did was I came over here and I started to fill in the water in the waves here. I went up this because this will all be water that matches like this. So I started to outline here, and then there's a boat that sits here, and I put in like a little bit of the white stitching for that boat. I'll put that up a little closer. You can see it. So that's what I did for the prompt to work on something with water. Another beautiful design by Paulette. And as I said, this one's actually going to go away for a little while. It will come back out next year, and then hopefully be a finish for next year. At the beginning of the month, prior to, let me think about this. Yeah, prior, so it's towards the beginning of July. So prior to the beginning of the Olympics, I just wanted to get in some more assignment work. I'm stitching this one with a great group of ladies. This is Olga's Autumn Stocking from Plum Street. Do you sense a theme here? I'm a huge Paulette fan. I love Plum Street. And she just has a way with patriotic and fall stitching, autumnal stitching. And so here was my progress on Olga. Now, when I started this, I had this pumpkin and Olga done. And so I stitched for 3 evenings and was able to get the rest of this stuff done. It's a little bit slow because you're doing a lot of stopping start with tiny little motifs. But I did enjoy getting to put in this big piece right behind Olga. Love it. And the group of ladies I'm stitching with, we're all going to be meeting in September. And I believe that we're all taking this so that we can get some more work done on Miss Olga. I'd love to have this one finished. I don't know that it's going to happen for this year, but as far as this year in season, it might not, get finished in time to actually get the stocking made and hung up. But we'll give it a shot, right? Once I clear the decks with my summer stitch, this Liberty's Welcome, I'm going to be free to then begin to finish up some other things. I did not finish Heaven and Nature, which was an assignment that I kind of had hoped to finish in July, but with, taking a look at what I would really have to do to finish Liberty's Welcome with that house and that grass, I decided that I was going to have to skip a few things. And so Heaven and Nature was one of those things that I skipped. But the next one and the last one that I have progress on that I'm going to show you is the beautiful design by Teresa Kogut called Dwelling Place. And I'm stitching assignments on this one with 2 other good friends. And it's a beautiful, beautiful design. We started this as a birthday start for one of the ladies. And we divided it up into 20 assignments. And I believe we are halfway through. July was 10th. So we're on the second half. And here is my progress. Now, for my July assignment, I should have had the rest of this done. But as you'll see, there's a string. I ended with some frogging. I don't know what I was thinking. I made a boo-boo in this little thing so that when I was getting ready to look at putting the star in, I'm like, oh, that's not right. So I'm actually having to pick that out. Well, I got a little frustrated with it. And I was like, you know what? This is the end of it. So I'm done. It was right at the end of July. So for my August assignment, I have to finish fixing this, fill it on in, and then I'll head up this way. But here it is. I have to hold it back just a little so that you can see the whole thing. But is it so sweet? And really, other than the solid stitching of this grass that has animals in it that goes across, there's some bigger, motifs, some flowers and things, but really the rest should go pretty quick. Should go fairly fast and be easy assignment for each month. Beautiful, beautiful. And I just didn't want to get behind on this one, so I did, keep this one in my July stitching and or July frogging. And here's the Oh, you know what? These are actually the threads for Olga. This is why I don't normally pull these out, because, you know, it ends up happening. I get them mixed in with the wrong thing, and then I'm digging through stuff. It's very frustrating. Okay, so there, all my stitching. Hope you enjoyed seeing that. Let me share that with you. I want to talk a little bit about what's coming up, right? Countdown to September, Sampler September. I've got a mental block about that. And I was kind of going through, and I'm like, well, you know, it's very difficult. You hear all kinds of iterations of people's plans. Some people pick 4 or 5 and do 1 week on each. Some are, you know, totally monogamous and stitch on 1 sampler for that month. You know, whatever. But I thought, well, if you really wanted to try to finish one, what would be a great sampler to pick out? And then I got to thinking, well, you know, Wendy from Wendy, who's the designer behind From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy Petros, has a fantastic little series that she did. And I believe it was all in 2022, might have wrapped into 2023 as well. I'm not sure. But she took a bunch of the samplers that she has, and she created the little sampler series. And here's one. I'm going to kind of just run through some of these. Like here's Susan's little sampler. And these are all, you know, little chunks of the bigger sampler. If you don't want to stitch the bigger sampler, but you really love something from that sampler, she pulled out, you know, some of the kind of the neatest motifs and just created little samplers. So here's Susan's little sampler. Put that up a little closer, you can see a little better. That butterfly is gorgeous. And we have Matilda's little sampler. And you can see, like, this is 72 by 108, but not real dense. So you could see you could easily finish this in September if you wanted to do a start and a finish in September. Now this one is called Lover of My Soul. This one is has been very popular out of the series, called the Little Quilt Block Sampler. And it's 72 by 108. Love the bright colors in this one. For those of you who really love a monochromatic red, here's the little MB 1834 sampler. And it's 79 by 115. But you know those letters will probably go pretty fast. Here's the little Dutch red flower sampler. And I believe she did 2. Yeah, she did 2 from the little Dutch sampler that she owns. And here's the second one, the little Dutch 1808. And this one's got the little Dutch boys in it. That one is 115 by 79. The little Dutch red flowers, 108 by 72. So they're all very similar in size. This was another one that was very popular. The little D Freitag sampler. The D Freitag sampler on its own was actually very popular, but then she did the little, you know, the little one and pulled that out, and it's 79 by 115. Isn't that beautiful? Pretty colors. Then there's Jobiena's little sampler. Again, another one that has been very popular. 79 by 115. Here's Alice's little sampler. Again, 115 by 79. Catherine's little sampler. 73 by 108. Love that house. Eliza's little sampler. This is a sweet one. 72 by 108. Hannah's little sampler. For you lovers of blue, this has got some beautiful blues in it. 72 by 108. And the last one is the little rose garden sampler. 79 by 115. Isn't that sweet? So I just thought I would show, you know, that little series, little sampler series, just because it kind of fits the bill, you know, for both September, sampler September. And if you wanted to finish one completely, you could. Anyway, just thought I would share that with you. So let's see what else. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to show is just a quick kind of shop update. So if you, you know, don't want to hear about that, that's fine. It's not going to take super long. But I did want to point out or show a couple of things. And if you are done for today, then thank you for, you know, visiting with me, and hope to see you back next time. And if you would like to hear, I'm going to just run through a couple of quick little things. I wanted to point out that Leela from Leela Studios, you know, last year came out with this beautiful autumn Quaker for her summer Quaker series, you know, spring Quaker. This one she called Autumn is as Joyful, but it's basically, you know, that in that same series. But a lot of people didn't care for this. It says Autumn is as joyful and sweet as an untimely end. And there were a lot of people who were like, oh, I don't want to stitch that. So this week, she actually published an alternate. It's called, or it says, Autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. So, and she charted that, and she shows it, you know, so that you can easily stitch that. It's on her website. It's not on her Etsy. It's on her website, and I believe that's leelastudios.net. And if you go into the freebies and corrections, there's where she has the PDF. You know, I went in and printed it out. For every chart that I, you know, sell, you know, I printed out a bunch of these, and I'll be including that in the chart pack, so that you know, the alternate is in there. And so I think that'll, you know, that'll get people to, you know, to love it, because it's a lovely, lovely design. That whole Quaker series is beautiful. And I think that'll, you know, maybe appeal to a few more stitchers. So I wanted to show that. Let's see. Oh, I've got the yawns this morning. It's super early this morning, but I needed to get this filmed, and our weekends have been so busy. I just haven't had a chance on the weekends. So, okay. Just received a large shipment of Fox and Rabbit linen. It'll be in, as soon as I wrap up, I'm going to go down and put that into the shop inventory. I've had a couple messages, people asking about certain colors and just waiting for this. So it'll be in today, I promise. The August virtual needlework market is the 23rd through the 26th. So I'll be my shop will be participating in that. And so look for some, you know, some goodies to come out of that. We'll be getting into the shop, you know, shortly after that market ends. And let's see. Oh, and last thing, getting you prepared for the sampler September month. We will be having a sampler sale starting on August 17th. That will probably run for about 10 days. And then it'll be over, and I'll be able to get those orders out to you and have them ready to you, ready for you to be able to start September 1. And I have been going back and trying to work with Paulette to pull in some of her older designs that some people may never have seen. sometimes we get so fired up about what's new and what's coming, we kind of forget about some of those really old, cool designs. And this was one that I actually showed to some friends, some stitcher friends of mine who had never seen it, and which kind of proved my point, right? It's called the Primitive Mood Keep. I just think it's funny. I think it's cute. So today it's blessings to you, or today it could be a pox upon thee, which I think is funny. Now, Paulette said on there, let's see what she says, with my pieces back to back, because I thought it was a fun idea to flip the pillow to match my mood. And then she put in parentheses, not that I'd ever have the pox side showing, ha ha ha. But anyway, so I just thought this was really adorable. And so I just ordered in a bunch of them and put them into the shop. And it has that autumnal feel to it. You can see she displays with the pumpkins, and it's got, you know, some copper and different colors that kind of, I think, are adorable. So that will be in the shop. If Adam hasn't already put it in, he may have already put it in. He kind of loads a lot of the new stuff into the shop. So anyway, so that's it. Just, I told you it'd be, just a quick little update. Look for Leela's alternate saying for the Autumn Quaker, and watch for that sale coming up. If you've got any questions, anybody has anything, feel free to message. That'd be great. And I think I have gone through everything I wanted to go through today. Just a quick video since it's early, and get you going on your Friday. I hope everybody has a fantastic August. Whatever you're counting down to, whether you're getting kiddos into school, you're headed back as a teacher. My good friend Ginger, I know she's, about ready to lose her mornings back to work as a teacher, or actually she works in the school system. But for all you teachers out there, ready to head back as well. Enjoy. I hope it all goes well. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me this morning. And remember to create every day. Take care now. Bye-bye.